What is it to truly admire a woman? To look at her and feel inspiration, to delight in her beauty, so much so that all of your defenses crumble, that you would willingly take on any pain, any burden for her, to honor her being with your deeds and words. We heard this poem by Benedict in season 3, and it was foreshadowing at its finest as we witness how his affections for his love interest in season 4 play out. So it's important to note that I started writing down my thoughts after the first 4 episodes of Bridgerton season 4 dropped. Initially, I began to write this season off as being extremely boring, with its heavy focus on the Cinderella storyline in the first half, Benedict searching endlessly for his enchanted love from the masquerade ball, referring to her as the glove lady or Sophie, the illegitimate daughter of the Earl of Penwood, who has this evil stepmother that basically tried to pull a destiny swap and relegate Sophie to the role of a servant once her father passed away. It was just so like I've seen this before. I've seen this story replayed too many times, actually. Anyway, Benedict meets Sophie. She's very beguiling to him, very much a not like the other girls type trope being played up here. And when she disappears into the night, back into her lifelong sentence of servitude, the entire first half of the season is him trying to find her. And when he does, in the form of a maid, he seemingly can't connect the dots in hearing her voice, seeing her lips, her skin tone, by looking into her eyes.
Sure, Jan.
Like, are you that blind? It also really annoyed me how once they had their chance and he quote unquote saves her from the savages and they spend a significant amount of time together at his countryside estate, basically alone, Sophie never said, "It was me." There were plenty, and I mean plenty, of times for her to explain, "I was there at the ball. It was me. This is who I am. My evil stepmother made me a servant. Help me." But I guess the writers had to keep that tension going. It's just the entire melodrama played out a little too long for me. I did enjoy the second half of the season. It revived itself with its side storylines, like the new lady in waiting trying to find her way and appeasing the queen. That was one of my favorites. Seeing Queen Charlotte's arc and showing sympathy for Lady Whistledown and her longtime friend, Lady Danbury. Also, the return of Cressida, like anything to distract me from the annoyance of Sophie and Benedict and their drawn-out emotional tug-of-war. But let's talk about Bridgerton's reinforcement that society's rakes, as they call them, can be reformed. Reformed with little to no work at that. All the man needs to do is fall in love, as stated in Benedict's poem. And if you watch the show, you know this, but a rake refers to a man known for his promiscuous behavior and womanizing, often associated with a lack of respectability in the context of courtship. So Benedict, a man who had affairs with married women, a man who had threesomes with both men and women, a man who hooks up with other men sans women entirely, can still be propped up not just as a respectable man to marry, but this former whore is now the season's prize. The phrase "sowing your wild oats" first appeared in the 16th century in a 1542 English proverb collection by John Haywood. Reading, quote, "Youth must have some dalliance of pleasure, sowing of wild oats." Translation, young people, be sexually reckless, experiment, go wild before settling down. But this obviously only applied to men, as a woman's sexuality was very much tightly controlled back then, as it is played out in Bridgerton. And although there have been many cultural shifts throughout the decades, let's be real, it's still not seen as favorable for women to sleep around in the same capacity as men. And watching Bridgerton not only reinforces, but is a stark reminder of how strict society is on women and how men, especially men with rank and money, get a pass for having a sexually undisciplined past. As stated many times in Bridgerton, it only takes one time, not even one time, but the mere perception of it all can ruin a woman.
Do you know what happens to a maid if word spreads she has been defiled by a gentleman? The rumor of such a thing could ruin her reputation for life.
The main focus this season was Sophie, a clearly educated and remarkable woman, not being good enough for him, a notorious rake, all marked by her unintended status. His brother Anthony is in his ear telling him that getting involved with her would be a grave mistake. Sophie herself, doesn't even think that she's good enough, or she would have said something in the many opportunities she had when they were alone. At one point, because of her position in society, he was trying to relegate her to being a mistress, his mistress, selfishly and completely clueless as to how that could affect her long term. And Sophie has just been so mentally and financially abused her entire life by her stepmother that she barely even sees her own value. But she knows that she's not a mistress. What I didn't like about this season is how Benedict's character is completely absolved of his questionable past. Instead of the show writers taking the opportunity to let the audience see the self-development of his character, like how he's even progressed into desiring to settle down, because remember, he didn't even want to be at that ball. He showed up 2 hours late after his rendezvous with Louis. Yes, Louis. Is Benedict's bi-curiosity magically gone now? Because he just slept with a man the night that he met Sophie. Is this resolved in the novels? Let me know. But instead of growing Benedict, all the focus and burden is put on him chasing after Sophie. And in the final episodes, how the family can quote-unquote fix things so that Sophie isn't just an illegitimate child of a nobleman, so that she can marry him without the Bridgerton family name being ruined. Any reconciliation of Benedict's past is completely buried and forgotten, as now the audience is meant to focus and root for the couple to overcome this seemingly impossible obstacle. And in my humble opinion, Benedict presents well. Sure, he shows up for Sophie, but is still no gentleman, and it's quite easy to miss this if you're caught up in their passionate affair. But remember the times we are in. On more than one occasion in the Bridgerton family home, he was very inappropriate with Sophie, already treating her like a mistress to be consumed well before he even asked her.
What is happening between him and her?
The viewers cannot ignore the power imbalance at play, her being a maid, him being a Bridgerton. The very popular played out trope of powerful man, subordinate women. We see it in so many other films, The Secretary, The Housemaid, 50 Shades. Anyway, this dynamic is tricky, as it's usually written to make it look like it's the subordinate, the woman, who is the seducer. As shown in Bridgerton, it's not overt, but it's subtle, so it doesn't look like he's taking advantage. But back to Bridgerton treating Sophie like a mistress before even posing the question. We see it at first by the lake at his country estate and kissing her. Then on the stairs when the kiss is way more provocative and in more places, and now he's going up her dress. In the scene in the study, or it might have been his bedroom when he actually beds her and takes her virginity. And poor Sophie, he had that girl anxious for the entire week, thinking that she might be pregnant. Then there's the bathtub scene. Are we supposed to believe that Benedict respects her? This is obviously lust. It's lust mixed with the aphrodisiac of the forbidden fruit. He's not supposed to be with the maid.
What lady would want to employ such a maid in her home?
If that was one of his sisters, as we all saw in season 1, doesn't even the implication of being alone with a man ruin you? Benedict does not care. His needs and wants come first. No restraint. A rake. Even the Crabtrees warned him about being alone with an unchaperoned lady, yet he's ravishing Sophie at every chance he gets. This is one of my least favorite storylines in Bridgerton so far. From Benedict's sudden and instant transformation from rake to reformed, although maybe he wasn't that reformed, as his actions towards Sophie still very much aligned with that of a sexual deviant. But then there are the obvious holes in the story, like, didn't Sophie used to work at the Penwood house where she found her father's will? She just truly accepted that her father would leave her penniless. No other magistrate or family member saw this will and could vouch for her and her father's final wishes. It just doesn't add up. The ending was very rushed, and I would have rather seen more development in Benedict and more of the uncovering of the mystery of Sophie's past than the painful back and forth torrid love affair that went on for far too long. Anyways, I'm interested in knowing your thoughts on this season. Please share them down below. And as always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Signing off now, your friend, Dom.